You see, God made life very simple. What you put in is what you get out. And if you wake up and you choose to be a half-assed bitch, well, you're going to have a half-assed life. And so every day we wake up and we do the most and we pursue our development and we maximize ourselves in every spectrum and metric of existence. And so we need to understand that when you maximize yourself every day, in the future, as time does its thing, you will see that you will compound into something more than you are. Now, most of you are okay with staying in the same position, staying in the same place, and being the same low-level piece of shit. And so you need to understand that what you put in is what you get out. And so most of you guys are unhappy with the life that you live. Most of you guys seek more. And since you are too weak to actually go out into the world and attain and gain and put in the work you need to put in to actually excrete those results out of reality, you will see that the results don't appear because the work you put in is basically not there. And when you seek more, you will start to seek more through the pleasure, through the distractions, through the subtractions, to retract you as an individual. And so you will see that when you seek to be more, you will gain more. When you truly wake up with the intention and you put in the max that you can put in every single fucking day, you will see the gap between who you were and what you are in this present moment as you continue to proceed and succeed at the most every day, waking up with the intention, with this ferocious culmination of energy to decimate the limitations that you and others have placed on yourself. And so when you put in the max, you receive the max. You just don't receive it instantly like the gratifications you seek out because you're too weak to wake up and put in the max. And so most of you guys seek to validate yourself through other people. Most of you guys seek to validate yourself through the external substances. Most of you guys seek to validate yourself through everything that is keeping you stuck at a low fucking level. And so when we look at the qualities of your persona in your psyche, when you have an addiction, you are a low quality individual. When you sit there and you are lazy, when you sit there and you suffer from gluttony, you have to understand that you are a low level piece of shit, bitch. And if you don't wake up every day to decimate those lower qualities, you will suffer and stagnate within those qualities. And so when we say pursue our personal development, what we are doing is cultivating and culminating the higher qualities, discipline. You have to understand that when we are waking up and pursuing our development, we are cultivating the qualities that you need to succeed. Persistence, relentlessness. Every day we wake up and we pursue the activities that will grant us access to those certain qualities within yourself. And when you lack those qualities, you will see that the simple law of cause and effect, the universal law that is actively in effect, you will see that your reality and you yourself will be affected. And so this is why every day you have to look at your mental arsenal and you have to cap out and max out and penetrate your reality with the most effort that you can put in, and you will see that the capacity of potential that you actualize within your existence will slowly but surely increase as every day you choose to do the maximum. And so what you put in is what you get out. And so every day, if you want to receive the most in results, well, you're going to have to wake up and excrete these results out of reality by cultivating and culminating the higher qualities, by embodying the higher self, waking up every day and pursuing the development of self. You have to understand that we are not trying to kick you while you're down. We're trying to call you up. And the way that we call you up is by calling you out and pointing out what is keeping you at a low level. And so most of you guys, you neglect the responsibility of reflecting, because once you reflect, now you know, and what is seen cannot be unseen. And so now you have to live with the fact that you have these lower qualities that are keeping you stuck. And now that you actually know the fact behind the effect, now you know the cause, and the cause is within yourself. And now you have to do the work to change. And so most of you guys rather sit there and stagnate in these instant gratifications and lower qualities instead of look in the mirror and truly change for yourself. And that simply means you lack the integrity. And integrity is the universal glue, aka love. And so if you don't love yourself enough to wake up and pursue the best version of you while ridding all the lower qualities of self, you will see that you do not possess the quality called love, which is the highest quality of them all. Most of you guys seek motivation. The only motivation is self-love. And so you simply do not love yourself enough to wake up and pursue those higher qualities. And so you could sit here and pretend like you're happy. You could sit here, fake a smile, conform, and pretend to be something you're not. But who you are is the disconnected individual, who you are when you are by yourself, alone, when you have to sit there with yourself and actually feel the excruciating pain that manifests as boredom for the lack of love that you have for yourself and the lack of connection that you choose to neglect to fix. You are the worst friend to yourself, but most of you guys seek to be the best friend for everyone else. If you simply can't wake up and hold yourself to a high degree of accountability, if you simply can't wake up and pursue the best for yourself, well, then you will see that you will try to do that for other people, because deep down in your soul, you know that you are trying to compensate for the emptiness within yourself. And so what you need to do is truly confront that pussy in the mirror and do some shit to fix some shit, because you will die that low-level, low-quality piece of shit. And your existence definitely has a quality marker on it. And that's why we have higher quality things and lower quality things. And it's very easy to distinguish what those things are. If you see a crackhead, well, that is a low quality thing. Why? Because it's embodying lower qualities within its mental arsenal and then manifesting these qualities through its behavior. And so what you need to do is look at your behavior and then reflect within yourself what qualities are allowing that behavior pattern to manifest. Addiction is a low quality internal trait. And when you pick up the vape, when you pick up the Pornhub, when you pick up the bottle, that is that quality manifesting through that unique form. And so what you need to do is look at the forms that permeate your behavioral patterns and then recognize that these are actually reflections of internal qualities that you refuse to fix. And so when you look at your positive habits and your negative habits, you need to write them all down. You need to look at all the negative. You need to look at all the positive. You need to reflect on what internal qualities are possessing you to act and execute in that certain way, to navigate existence in such a crude way, in such a ludicrous, low quality way. And then you need to rid everything negative. You need to amplify and increase everything positive. And you simply amplify and increase everything positive by looking at the activities that trigger that certain quality to become in motion, to be set in motion. Put your mind in motion. Most of you guys are like a raft in the fucking ocean going nowhere, a universe stagnating and simply directing itself everywhere. You've been around the block, but you have to truly look at yourself, and you have to navigate within yourself to higher quality outcomes in life. And so your behavior, your habits will create your habitat. And before we look at the external habitat, we need to look at your internal habitat, and we need to look at what type of mind you are actually dwelling within. What type of mindset what type of framework do you exist within? Because you truly exist within your mind. And so what you inhabit in your mind is going to reflect in your external habits. And so we need to reflect on who you are as an individual before we even look at the goals you seek to attain. Because you want this, you want that, and you want to accomplish this goal in this amount of time. But your habits are going to keep you taking 2 steps forward and 5 steps backwards. What you need to do is take 1 step forward every day. And that is enough to be at a big enough distance in a certain period amount of time. And so most of you guys, you don't live in factuality. You exist in your own rudimentary cadences within your mind that is a belief system to allow you to compensate for every weakness within your mind, and every lower quality is a weakness within yourself. And so every day we wake up and decimate the internal weaknesses to manifest ourselves a higher quality existence internally and externally. Most of you guys like to denounce what you cannot attain, and most of you guys like to denounce what you cannot work for. If you see a Ferrari, of course it has to be rented. You see a body that is better than you by a very big gap, it has to be steroids. Most of you guys are so low quality that you cannot even admire anything that is high quality, because deep down within your soul, you again know that you are too low quality to actually attain that thing, to the point that your belief system is compensating for your weaknesses, to the point that you denounce what is high quality, because when you have to perceive something, you now receive and conceive information about yourself that and where you lack. And so if you see a Ferrari and someone has worked their ass off, that is a culmination of high quality traits concentrated into a specific outcome. And so when you see something like a Ferrari, now you have to conceive the notion of where you lack, which is the internal qualities that you have perceived that is emanating from the high quality thing that is manifested through the higher qualities of the mind that is actively and actually in motion to achieve that thing. And so most of you guys lack the reflection. Most of you guys don't have the capacity to actually reflect anyways. You guys are like compulsive, impulsive fucking animals. You guys act off the impulses, Pornhub impulse, vape impulse. And then when you want to stop, you can't even stop because you're that fucking weak. And so what you need to do is every day you need to compound yourself away from those things. And how do you do that? You simply look in the fucking mirror and you confront that. BAM!